Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and you're watching True School Sports.
Millions of people could pay to watch Floyd Mayweather. Then, because is there anyone as boring as him besides, Slapstick Joey? That's your boy, Calzaghe. I call him Slapstick Joey.
Excuse me?
Slapstick Max.
There he is.
You know what? His record speaks for itself. Not everybody knows how good he was.
Yeah,
So,
it doesn't say too much, but go on.
The fact that you call him Slapstick, you know what I mean, mate. I've got nothing to say because you made me mad now on that. So.
Who are we talking about?
He's talking about Joe Calzaghe.
Troy calls Joe Calzaghe Slapstick, and Nathan's British blood is boiling.
Oh, man. Joe Calzaghe, he's a bum.
He really did have an overblown resume.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding, man.
I like Joe Calzaghe.
I like Joe Calzaghe as well. But I'm going to say
like
this is kind of ugly, that slapping style.
I liked his daddy. His daddy was fiery, man. I liked his dad. You can hear his dad in the corner using very choice words and getting all, come on, no. I used to love listening to. I used to watch his fights to see his daddy.
What I loved most about Joe Calzaghe's career was that his dad was a jazz musician, and that was his trainer.
You know,
problem with Joe was he fought all the good fighters far too late towards the end of his career. That's the only criticism I've got, is that he fought all the good fighters towards the end of his career. That's all.
One thing that really, probably the worst corner person in the history of humanity was Carl Froch's girl a few years ago. Every single fight, all you heard was Carl Froch's wife. Come on, Carl! Come on!
No, you have to go watch the Mosley fight against who's the boy that beat him? Lord, he got killed in Atlanta.
Vernon Forrest.
Yeah, Vernon Forrest fight. All you heard from Shane's daddy when in the corner was, "Oh Lord, Shane, no, Lord, Shane, no, Lord, Shane, come on, oh Lord."
I'll say the funniest one I like is Teofimo Lopez's dad. Like, if you go watch Tio's fight at the Olympics, you could just hear his dad in the background after every shot. Oh, like that. He was just that shit was funny. Like, Teofimo hit the dude with the right hand, and all you'd hear is "Oh."
For me, the only person that would have beaten,
trying to make the judges just score every blow.
The only person that would have beaten Joe Calzaghe would have been Andre Ward. That's it. That's about it. The only person I'd say would have ever beaten him. And Roy Jones in his prime.
What about
the only two people?
Moore?
Who?
What about James Toney in his prime?
Probably, yeah.
That's a fight.
But,
that's a
no,
fight.
I don't know. I don't think so. But like I say, I mean, I think Roy Jones in his prime and Andre Ward from 2000 and the one that beat Kovalev would have all beaten Joe, but only just.
What about your other countryman that's calling them out now? That wants to fight?
Carl Froch.
Yeah.
Carl Froch was very limited. He was a good fighter, he's a good world champion, but he had his limitations, as we saw when he fought Ward.
Yeah, and also when he fought Gross. And honestly, when it comes to that matchup between Calzaghe and Froch in their primes, in reality, it should completely lean against Froch because, I mean, the style matchup is just horrible against him, but also his stamina is good. His chin is good. And for whatever reason, he just got better as the fight went on, similar to Margarito. You know, the more he would get hit, the more it would sort of light a fire in him. The more he pretty much just lost rounds, he would just get better. It's like in the Taylor fight as well. I mean, and I see him getting stronger, and there's a chance he could stop Calzaghe late, but he would not outbox him.
No way in hell.
What did you say about Margarito? You said he got better as it went on.
As fights went on, and the more he broke his opponent down. I mean, of course, he was cheating, but also, I mean, just watching him in the ring, I mean, with the Cotto fight and how he broke him down as the fight went on and how Cotto started to weaken, and he That was a theme in his fights.
That was an illusion. He wasn't breaking anybody down. He was breaking them because he had bricks on his
But
face.
yeah, I'm gonna say this, man. Miguel Cotto, it was never the same after fighting Margarito.
He lost a lot of his pads.
Like Margarito really did some serious damage, and it's a shame because we still saw Cotto was a great fighter afterwards. But
He is.
just imagine what he could have been if he didn't. Like imagine how much better he could have been. Like he gave Mayweather a tough fight. I mean, what if he never took those beatings from Pacquiao and Margarito? Like you never know.
Yeah, Miguel Cotto was a very gifted fighter. He had good footwork. He could move around the ring. He could box. He had a really good jab, and he could approach you. He could use the high guard, and his defense wasn't all that bad either. And he had a great left hook that he could counter with, and he could come over the top with the jab counter and all that. He was really good, and he had a great body attack.
Yes.
Yeah, his left hook to the body, man.
As well.
Man, I love Miguel Cotto's style. That was like I like how he moves around, hits you with combinations. Nice. It's nice to watch.
Yeah, the truth is, whether he fought Margarito or not and won or lost, he still would have lost to Floyd simply because Floyd had more gears than him. If you watch them on the ropes when Cotto was actually doing good, he could go from first gear to second gear to third gear, but there is no fourth, no fifth, no sixth. He was doing the same thing. He was on a rhythm. He would get into a rhythm, body, head, body, head, body. He would never switch it and go head, body, or just head, and then he would never switch it. It was body, head, body, head, body, head, body, head. And what Floyd did is what he learned on the pads. He caught his timing. He said, "Okay, I got you, and I'm going to punch between your punches. When you go to the body, I'm gonna go to the head. When you go to the head, I'm gonna go to the body because I got your rhythm now. Boom, 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 boom." Whereas
Floyd and
if he had
Pacquiao
another gear, it would be, and then you understand what I'm saying? He would be able to pick it up if he just didn't have that other gear. He didn't have that other gear.
Yeah, but what Cotto was doing that was really giving Floyd problems, and what really disrupted his rhythm is he would sort of crouch down while throwing his jab and get out of Floyd's field of vision, and he would constantly feint and then come over the top as Floyd was timing his counter.
It's changing the angles as well. It's throwing unorthodox combinations. Like after throwing a right hand, instead of throwing like the typical fighter, got someone on the ropes, they'll throw a right hand, they'll throw a hook. But instead of that, he would throw a right hand, then he'd just throw a jab and stick it out there. And Floyd, he's trying to recognize the patterns of the hooks that he's used to, but instead the jab was coming through. But yeah, I agree with Troy. I don't think Cotto would have beat him, but I think if Cotto never fought Margarito, I think the biggest change would be that Pacquiao fight wouldn't have been as one-sided. I think he would have gone the distance with Pacquiao, but I think Pacquiao still would have beat him because
because he sweat down for that fight, man, because of the money. So then he sweat down to what, 143 or
144.
44.
That's where Cotto was trained.
And at that time, you got to understand, he was walking around at 165. So for him to sweat back down to we said 144?
144, like that, 144.
Yeah, it really hurt him. It really, really hurt him and made him weak. And which is why he was asked to do that in the first place. Because if Pacquiao knew he couldn't fight a full-fledged Cotto because he's just too big. Or he's too heavy. He's too heavy.
He moved up to 154 afterwards, and he never fought at 147 again. He moved right back up to 154 that December.
He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it.
June or something like that, and he fought Yuri Foreman. He couldn't.
You're right. You're right about Mayweather. I think Mayweather, like both Mayweather and Cotto, are all-time greats, but Mayweather's just that tear ahead.
Yeah, he has more gears now.